everyone, welcome back to another Guava Juice podcast. We are in quarantine right now. All the previous podcasts you listened to, we filmed a month in advance, so we finally caught up to our podcast today. If you're new here, welcome to the Guava Juice podcast, where I just talk about, whatever to empower, motivate the creators out there. But I think today, a really important topic is coronavirus and just looking at the positive light of things, because the world is really showcasing the negatives, and a lot of people don't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now because it's so flooded with negativity. I'm your host, Guava Juice, aka Roy, and this is Leonardo. What's up, dog?
What's up, man? How are you doing?
Good, dude. So Leonardo is going to be moderating and asking me some burning questions about the situation here. And if you are a new listener, new viewer, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because we looked at the analytics, and 98% of you guys are not subscribed. So please do it. Help support this podcast and its endeavors. All right, let's get to it. Leonardo.
That's a high percentage. So let's start off with how are you doing? How's your life right now in quarantine?
Yeah, dude. Currently, we're recording this podcast April 13th, and this is day number, oh gosh, I don't even know what day number, I think 26 of quarantine in Los Angeles, and it's good, man. All the days are blending together. Like, it's really, you wake up, you do the same thing, you go to sleep. I'm staying at home because that's really what people should be doing. And I feel like not a lot of people are taking that seriously. Like, people just go out and just like, hey, whatever. But it's not about, it's not about them or yourself, really. It's the people that you might be affecting. And you just got to really keep an eye on that and just respect that. Like, when you go outside, even though you're not affected, you might affect someone else. And that's the truth of it,
So you want to educate the audience as far as like who's more that you've heard from like the news and from the media, like who's more prone to get negative symptoms from this?
Yeah, I mean, the elderly people, of course. I mean, we're still learning about the coronavirus, but if you want to respect society, especially like the elderly people, you should just literally just stay home. I can't stress enough about that, because the elderly, I don't know, man. It gets me a little bit like angry sometimes as people just get out, they don't care about it, but you really just gotta stay home. I've been I don't know, this whole day I was thinking like how to like go about this podcast and like what the listeners can learn from it, and I feel like number one, just stay home. Like, that really is helping a lot.
After that recommendation of staying home out of respect to not only people in authority, like the government officials and like the elderly and things like that, now that they're at home, what are some healthy habits, and what's your outlook on that, on how to like live this quarantine life we have?
Dude, honestly, I'm still learning myself. At first it was great because like, hey, I get to stay at home, work from home, that's the life. But then I realized that there is no life. Just being like cooped up in the house. And I mean, for me, having a routine is especially important, waking up and having a reason and purpose why you're waking up. Like, you wake up in the morning, it's like, okay, why am I waking up this morning? Okay, I've got to film a video because I want to, do my job as an entertainer to, spread positivity and, laughter through the world. But then again, like, in that kind of like scenario too, it's like, should I even be posting content? Because like, people are just supposed to, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I want to,
you want to be sensitive. You want to be sensitive.
I want to be sensitive. Yeah.
I got you.
Just don't want to like desensitize the situation by like, hey, I'm still posting, I'm okay, but I'm not. I'm just going through these motions to make sure, my viewers and everyone else watching are happy, And that's the least I could do as an entertainer, as a creator, is to make sure everyone has that piece of laughter throughout their day, especially during these harsh times. It's like, what is the positive light I could take from this, and how do I proceed to make that happen, sort of thing.
Yeah, what's cool about what you're saying, Roy? Do I call you
Yeah.
Roy or Guava Juice?
I don't know. You could call me Dexter.
All right, Dexter. So,
No,
uh,
no, no.
I like what you were saying. How like like you're so called to serve people through your job as an entertainer and
Yeah.
still be positive in that way. I actually heard a speaker share that like at this time we're all online. Like we shouldn't stop helping people in our own different way. And especially what's cool, like do you have a message for people who are creating content at this time?
If you have the opportunity to create content for the greater good to make people's days a lot better, then do it. I mean, people look up to you for a reason. And if they look towards you to find some kind of like light toward their day, then do it. Like if you know that, then you should definitely move forward with it. But at the same time, don't be like insensitive about everything. Like you don't want to like go outside and like with a hazmat suit and just start touching people. Like that's just messed up. Like find ways to like, aid their, I guess, uncomfortability throughout this time. Like we're in the house. What can you do? Like for what we did, we filmed a video about like 10 things not to do during this quarantine, and it's just like relatable. It's we made it so it's like educational. Like, hey, don't wash your hands. I mean, don't wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Always wash your hands. Stay at home. Stuff like that. I think in the how do I say this? Finality of it. It's kind of like you want to be there for your fans to make sure they're not alone, and I guess whatever it takes. And as creators, I feel like we should step it up to make sure our audience and our fans aren't alone. Like we are in this together. I mean, obviously the whole world is affected, and I don't know. I'm just rambling because I've been cooped up at home for 25 days. It's crazy here, dog.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. What's cool is I like that attitude of still like helping people or finding your way to help people. Like for example, like I always have this mindset if let's say you're a psychologist and you can't
Yeah.
meet people in person. How cool
Yeah.
is that we have technology and the internet? You could still like FaceTime people and you could still help in
Yeah.
your own creative way, in your own resourceful way.
Yeah, and that's like the big difference between like this pandemic and versus like other pandemics in the past. We have this technology, and I always try my best to be thankful for everything every single day, because like just having a house and like people to talk to. I have like a phone where I can just FaceTime people. Like I don't know, just being thankful for everything is a huge thing, because not a lot of people have this opportunity as well. So it's kind of like doing my best to like appreciate every single thing. The other day I donated $10,000.
Yeah, I was literally gonna bring that up. Like, how did that feel, and how did you choose that charity?
Well, I don't know. I just talked to my business manager. I was like, hey, can I donate a lot of money? Because it's not about me. It's really about like helping out people. Because in the end goal, like, hey, like for me, it's like I became a YouTuber to sustain my life and whatever. But after like years have gone by, it became greater than that. It became like, okay, how can I use my platform to help others? How can I use like the profits I made from videos to help others? Because I don't know. There's something great about that, like giving something and not expecting something in return.
Absolutely.
It's like one of the greatest feelings out there. And for people watching and listening, you guys should try it if you never tried it before. It feels great.
Yeah.
And I donated $10,000 to the mayor's fund of LA, because I wanted a way to like support everyone locally, so I could see it like first-handed. And what they support, the mayor's fund of LA, is they support child services for the first like the workers, like the healthcare workers, and like the frontline workers like policemen and like the military. And then they also provide shelter for the homeless, food for the elderly, because we got to protect our elderly, especially now, and financial advice for the people here in LA, especially during now in this crisis. Like the economy is like going crazy. So Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I just thought I should do.
Yeah, I like what you shared. How, as years gone by, like your channel, your platform got bigger than just like fulfilling like your own creative needs, but it's also to help other people. Um,
Yeah.
that's speaking of helping people. At this time, I feel like a lot of people who watch the podcast, a lot of the ones who find you on search and stuff like that, are
Yeah.
interested in being a YouTuber, right? So
Yeah.
if what's your advice to them, especially at this time of quarantine? Like they have all this free time more than ever to like make these videos from home. What would you like to share with them?
Dude. I think it comes down to your boy Simon Sinek. Like, why? Why are you making the videos? Ask yourself that, answer that, and then you'll figure out the rest, really. I mean, are you making it because you're bored? Or are you making it because you want to help people, like, laugh and smile? Or are you making these videos because, you don't know, you want to make money? Find that right reason, and if your gut says it's right and you want to pursue that direction because you're passionate about it, then do it. Other than that, that's really up to you. Future creators out there, small creators, big creators, is like, even I'm struggling. Like, what is my why today? What is my why tomorrow? Like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I mean, at this time, it's such an awkward but critical like moment to be in the world, because it's like the world's never faced this before. One. And two, it's kind of like we're all adjusting at the same time, figuring out, our daily schedules and how to handle our lives and like how to move about our lives going forward. Especially because we don't even know when this is going to end. That's the scary part. And we're just like embracing and preparing ourselves for the worst. But at the same time, we're trying our best to find the light and the positivity. And this, I mean, it all comes back down to like, why I'm doing what I'm doing now. It's because people need to see that light. Because you turn on the news and then you just see like, oh, coronavirus this, coronavirus that.
Yeah.
It's never like, hey, so this happened today. It was great. You should have hope for the future because there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we should all be focusing on that light. But at the same time, being aware of what's going around now. But there is the light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming. Rather than like, oh, corona.
Like your
You know?
focus, right?
Yeah.
Your focus affects everything. I like what you're saying, especially about the news, because I was actually watching a couple of videos. It's like what we need now more than ever is to have our immune system as strong as possible, and like it's scientifically proven that the more news you watch, the higher cortisol level, your stress is higher.
Oh,
and when
yeah.
that happens, your immune system is like at
Down.
its weakest. So
Oh, my
like,
goodness.
So what's the balance between like knowing what's happening and watching the news, and not being like numb and being paralyzed by the fear? Like how much time is how what's your thoughts on that?
Oh my goodness, that's a big one.
You personally,
First
you can only talk
off,
about you, like,
personally,
you
yeah. Me personally, I don't really watch the news or listen to the news because there's so much negativity. Everyone's about ratings and like who can give the better negative story to, attract people through like this dilemma or whatever.
Yeah.
For me, I just don't watch the news, so I'm not really exposed to it that much. But, sometimes, your phone gives you that notification like Apple News Spotlight, coronavirus is reached over 2 million people or whatever. I'm like, oh. But then again, you got to like, face reality. That is reality. But then you don't want to like, laser focus in that one specific thing, You have to like find ways to, live your day. Like I said, like your day is meant to be lived upon, and you do have a purpose in your day, whatever that is, whether it's taking care of your family or, doing your best to, work from home, or if you don't have a job, just figuring out your future. And I don't know. I can't speak for those people because I've never been there, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's really tough to like not do anything. I mean, it's easy to do, but it's just like, it's it's tough knowing like people don't do anything. I don't know. I'm just rambling. I'm always just rambling.
That's what conversations are, though, man.
It is. It is. It's just this is so stressful, man. I don't.
Yep. Some
Yep.
good news. Do you want to hear some good news? Because
Yes.
we're talking about the news and stuff. So our editor, our managing editor in the Philippines, Joel.
Yo.
So
Joel.
great Joel. Him and his family were on the news, and the whole story was like fun things to do at home with your family, and it like showed like them like playing games and like playing the piano. So it was like it was a positive news story, a more beneficial one. It was pretty cool, like seeing that for sure.
Yeah, that's good because that's what we should be doing. Like, appreciating time with, whoever's at the house, I mean, for me, my parents aren't here. Like, my brother isn't here. My siblings aren't here. Like, they're all the way on the other side of the country. But what you said, we have FaceTime. Technology makes everything a lot better. It makes people feel a lot closer than they really are, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So take advantage of technology. If you haven't like talked to your loved ones or your friends you haven't spoken to in a long time, just hit them up.
What are some healthy habits that you're trying to maintain during this quarantine and that you want to share with the audience?
Dude, I've been trying my best to sleep earlier, but it's kind of hard because like if we're home all the time, I have this really bad. I know you're talking about like healthy habits, but I have a bad habit of now sleeping at like 3 a.m. because basically the new midnight now is like 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I blame Animal Crossing though, but like, I mean, honestly, like you said, a healthy immune system is pretty strong. I've been trying to work out at home a lot. I don't know if you could tell, I lost 22 pounds.
No.
Yeah, I did, dude.
22 pounds. Since when?
22 since January. So
okay.
I started.
So it wasn't like when quarantine started, right?
No. That would be unhealthy. But yeah,
Can you tell
I've been working
22
out.
pounds?
No.
I'm joking. I did.
Did you?
No, I did. I actually haven't weighed myself for so long now.
Oh, I'm just saying, just working out and just eating healthy. Even though we're at home, it's just very tempting to eat like a lot of junk food or whatever. But it's kind of like the will to force myself to eat healthy because I know if I'm not gonna start eating healthy now, it's just not gonna happen. So I started doing that like as early as possible, and it just became a routine. Routines are important. Find your routine and lock in on that. Dude, I forgot how to record a podcast. We haven't filmed one in so long. It's like, how do I talk?
I think you're doing a good job, man. I think because of this situation, like this is the best, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this is the best it can be at this moment. I'm sure if we have to do this again, like the next time it'll be even better. Next time.
Okay,
sure.
sweet. I have never filmed a podcast from home, by the way. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I found a lot of podcasts actually, like a lot of them work from home, and that's what they do when they interview people. Very similar to what we're doing right now.
Dang.
Yeah, but we
That's
actually stepped it
cool.
up because we're using our like DSLRs and stuff. Like
I know.
they use their webcams.
Oh yeah, guys, if you guys are wondering why, if my audio doesn't sound as great, it's because I'm using this microphone and Leonardo is using the actual microphone over there, which is like the super expensive one.
Let's go back to one of the things you brought up. Like, I like the fact that you brought up the word purpose a lot, like during this time of quarantine. What else can you elaborate as far as like people finding their purpose or continuing that purpose while they're in quarantine?
Well, you know what they say, change kind of brings a different perspective towards someone in someone's like mind or the way they live. So this pandemic is definitely giving a lot of people a change of mindset and change of everything, because it is a huge change. Like this is a critical, like massive change, and I think a good part to figuring out how to deal with a change is figuring out your purpose. But like I can't just say that, because it's like finding your purpose is it's like it takes time, but I feel like you need to start by thinking that there is another objective or another goal that you are aiming for. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole world's on pause. Whatever happened before, like lockdown or like quarantine or whatever, it's like it's on pause until further notice, and that basically changed everyone's perspective on things 180 degrees or whatever. It's just like finding what you're gonna do next. I don't know. You just threw a really hard question at me, but
That was great, man. Like recognizing what the next move forward is and what we can learn from this situation, right?
yeah. Oh, how about you? What do you expect? Any thoughts on, like, finding a new purpose during this pandemic and, like, how people's lives change?
Yeah, I really believe everyone's purpose is really the same thing in life. This is my personal belief. My personal belief is everyone's purpose is to improve as an individual and to serve other people. How you do that is always different from every individual. Like how you serve people, how you help people. Like you look at yourself as an entertainer, someone who lifts people's spirits up. Like that's your individual purpose, and that's like a branch from this heart to just serve people. At this time of quarantine, like we just continue what we've always been doing, regardless of what you do as a profession. Like you could still help people and live out that purpose. No, what's crazy, man? Have you heard of the book In Search of Meaning by Viktor Frankl? I think that's his name. But anyways, it's this book about this guy was in a concentration camp during Hitler and everything, and he was able to it's like a very crazy magnified version of being in quarantine, right? It's like wow. What he experienced is so much worse than what we're experiencing. And he was but he still found like purpose and meaning and a healthy perspective, even though there's like suffering around him and stuff. And so like, I really feel like at this moment, like we should be doing the same thing, basically. I got the feels
What
right
did
there.
he figure out his purpose was? I know. What did he feel like his purpose was during that time?
So I'll be honest, I didn't read like the whole book. I just like skimmed through it, honestly. But in summary, what I do remember is that like what you said, there's still beauty. There's still beauty in being grateful for what's happening. And he was able to just like see things in a more positive light. And so I don't want to butcher what the book was about, but I feel like part of it was your purpose is recognizing how you perceive things and improve and I don't know, find the light, basically like find the light in whatever you're going through.
Oh yeah, there's always.
I think part of the book was like you don't wait for happiness or you don't wait for things to be perfect for you to find peace wherever you are right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel you.
Yeah. So you want to give the audience like an update on how the channel's doing and what's the future for the channel?
Dude, yeah. Right now, since I'm working from home, it's usually a team of 6 of us. So what we usually do now is we go on Zoom and brainstorm everything. But like right now, it's kind of hard because like I'm kind of just working with a tripod.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. Okay. I'm not sure if the videos will be out every other day like as usual, but so far it has. But for the most part, I'm still making content, and it's just gonna be at the house. My girlfriend's in it a lot because she has nothing else to do, and I just tell her to like, hey, you wanna feel something? But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's just gonna be at my house.
Nice. Are there any? Yeah. What videos are you excited about? Share. You want to give a little sneak peek, or what are you excited about?
Of course, we are releasing a music video called "Wash Your Hands." Okay, it's fire. Okay.
Fires.
See, look, like even though we're working from home now, I found time to record a song.
Nice.
So always use time that you're given or allotted, even though if it's unexpected, you can still utilize your time in some aspect of productivity or helpfulness. Helpfulness. I feel like I forgot how to speak because I've been like maybe I've been playing too much Animal Crossing, man. All the characters are like.
What language
Oh,
are they?
man.
Are they speaking a certain language?
I don't know. They're speaking how I'm speaking right now. What?
You're doing good, man. You're doing good.
Thanks, man. I'm a little rusty. I haven't filmed in. This is day 26 or something. I don't even know. Yeah.
So yeah, so the music video. As far as the other channels, are you gonna you want to share anything that's gonna be posted on there?
Well, the podcast, we're going to do as much as we can. I mean, we're going to talk about whatever we can. But the other channels, I don't know, gaming channel and channel 2, I'm still thinking about it. I mean, it's I don't feel like sitting down and playing Roblox all day, to be honest. I feel like I've passed that part. But, you know, sometimes I get, you know, a sense of to play Roblox here and there. Yeah, man, that's really it. For the most part, the main channel is priority.
Focus.
You just gotta make sure that that channel is like good and people know that we're still there for them. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. What's one of your favorite videos on the main channel that we posted recently?
Okay. 10 things not to do at McDonald's, guys. If you haven't seen that video took so long to make, and I'm so glad that it's doing really well because like we are so proud of that video. Okay, and hey, if you're listening and watching right now, make sure to hit subscribe because 98% of you guys are not subscribed, which is unreal.
That's a high percentage.
That is pretty crazy. It's like, what's the point of doing these podcasts if 98% are not? So please hit that subscribe button, guys.
Good news though. It's over how many subscribers now?
Hey, 20K.
Yeah.
Woo!
They say the
just
hardest
hit
part is the
20,000.
beginning of any channel, right? Like that.
Yeah, for sure.
That
So
it's-
if you're an upcoming artist or a channel, whatever, the beginning is always the hardest. Like, even though I have like 15 million subscribers in my other channel, it's gonna take a while for your other channels to boom. I think you need to make sure you have a library in there. Like, hey, there's already content in here, and that's great. And this is consistent content, like every other week, every week, whatever. And then, you know, as a viewer, you're like, okay, cool, this person's legit. I can't wait for the next one. So,
dude.
takes time.
Speaking of what you're saying about like some libraries taking time, I was actually watching this video. This guy's like, he's a YouTube producer, so he helps a lot of other YouTube channels like build their library. And he shared a funny story of this lady. She posted 120 videos, like
Whoa.
5 times a week. And she did it for like a couple months. But then she quit. And guess what happened to her channel?
It blew up.
It blew up. It blew up a couple months later, but I guess he doesn't know how to contact this person or anything, because like it spiked her library, like one video took off and it like lifted everything. And it was like months after her last post. So he's saying like maybe this person quit and didn't know what happened and just ghosted YouTube, you know?
Dude, patience.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, it takes time. Like, if nothing's happening, just wait. Like literally what you said, like there's one video will ignite the rest and it's gonna explode like a TNT, dude. It just takes one match to explode the rest. It's dang. That's so sad, dude.
Yeah. I would literally email that lady or like Instagram message her just to let her know. But it's crazy. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know.
But patience.
What are we talking about?
You were talking about like the channel growing, which makes sense.
Yeah. Channel growing. I mean, like, lessons learned, just patience. Like, that's like huge vice. Or virtue? Virtue. Vice.
Virtue is a good positive one, yeah. Vice is like Miami Vice. Like,
Virtue, okay. My bad.
Speaking of like, I'm gonna bring it back to quarantine and stuff. Like, speaking about like patience and stuff, do you think that's a really important factor as far as like what we're going through right now?
Yeah, that's a lot of mental patience. Like that's being tested right now. Like mentally, you have to be in the right mindset, uh, and it's hard.
Yeah.
And one, but I'm pretty sure it's like my mindset right now. It's like to be mentally strong, I have to be mentally focused to get through this pandemic and through any situation that's gonna be given to me. Because I know when I reach the finish line, there's gonna be like this great reward, and I'm just like looking forward to that reward. And that's why I'm just like staying focused to get to that part. But it requires a lot of patience because we don't know when that's going to happen. And the thing is, like, the world's not going to be the same after this either.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they lift quarantine, like when, like June, July, or whatever, I don't even know. Like, everyone's going to be paranoid.
It's gonna take a while for certain things to
It
normalize.
is, yeah, yeah. Until a vaccine has been created, I don't think anything is going to be normal for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's just another step to adjusting, but we're just going to get to that when that happens. That's just my prediction because there's no way we're just all going to go, in public, like to the mall, and then everyone's like, course, like close quarters with everybody. And
Yeah.
no one's going to shake your hand. No one wants to shake hands anymore.
That's
After this.
crazy.
No one's gonna hug you and just say what's
Yeah.
up, or it's even like no one's gonna be like, yeah, well, good stuff, dog, in like the basketball court. No one's gonna dap you up like, oh
Yeah. But one thing, because we're talking about like some like positivity and optimism.
yeah.
One,
Sorry.
no, that's good. No, that was good. It's leading to what I'm thinking now is like, one thing I really believe is that next time something like this happens, I really believe that the world as a whole will be quicker to be like, all right, let's respect exactly what like we went through this before. Everyone actually stay home, and it'll have like quarantine will be resolved way quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we quarantined ourselves like a month ago, it would have been way better than like all the numbers would be totally different.
We all thought this was just a joke in the beginning, but you're right. Like next time something similar will happen in the future, we'll be on our toes because we've already gone through it once and we know how to prepare for it. It's just in the beginning, like no one thought it would become this huge of a magnitude, and no one, even now, like some people don't even care about it.
I'll honestly admit that I was one of the ones that took a while for me to accept, and the reason being is like I have a high respect for people in like authority, so like when the government says something, then I'll be like, okay. But if it's like some random person on Instagram, like like just gossiping and stuff, I don't really listen to that. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm one of the people that took a while, honestly. Next time I'll listen quicker, as long as the government officials do the same thing, So
honestly, it didn't hit me until they shut down the NBA. I'm like, oh, dude, this is for real. Like, this is like probably like a week before like the whole quarantine thing. I'm like, okay, this is getting serious. Like, if they're gonna shut that down, then this is for real. And then I think I just started becoming more cautious. But hey, I mean, sometimes it takes something that massive to, for people to like open their eyes and their minds, like, oh shoot, this is for real.
Yeah, I think another thing is like, I don't know for you, but for me, like we listen to leaders. So when like the NBA commissioner, like what you're saying, when someone at that like level says, no, we're shutting down and we're not worried about losing billions of dollars because we put people's lives first, then that's when I listen. I listen to people like that versus like people who just like gossip and things on the news and things like that. So
maybe like leaders like that will step up a lot faster. I mean, not saying it's their fault for like not stepping up sooner. It's just like it's just kind of like we're learning as we go, and that's just how people treat things sometimes. Like, hey, I admit I do that too, but it's kind of like we'll get there next time.
Yeah, this is the first time any of us have experienced this, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and that, like, not just us, but like literally everyone in the world, like we've never experienced this. So I like your positivity as far as like there's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel, like and I was actually, I made a video earlier talking about this because I was like, that's the only way for solutions to happen. Like, because if you focus on like the negative and focus on like the pessimism, then you're not all you're doing is just worrying, and worrying doesn't change anything. Like, at least like what you did, like, you know, you created something and then you donated money. At least like do something productive rather than just being afraid. Because if like
Dude.
fear doesn't change anything. If anything, fear makes it worse, because fear is like, it makes everyone else like panic, and everyone else's immune system like go crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
But like we discussed this in like another podcast too, like fear and like negativity and pessimism. It's the easiest thing to do, and sometimes that's why people latch onto it easier, and a lot more people latch onto it because it's just so easy to obtain. I guess for all the viewers and the listeners, just like try to find that positivity. It's gonna it's gonna be hard to like latch onto, because it's definitely harder to grasp compared to like negativity. Like look at the news, like everything's negative because it's so easy to do. Yeah. But once you find that positivity and that hope or that light, hang on to it. Like never let it go, because eventually, as time goes on, it's just gonna grow. That hope is gonna grow. That light's gonna keep shining brighter and brighter throughout the days. So, just find it.
That was beautiful.
That's all I got.
That was beautiful,
man.
That's so.
That's
true.
all I got. It is true. Like there's
so
always
true.
something. Like right now, this pandemic compared to like all the other pandemics in the history, like the Black Plague, like one out of 3 people die.
Yeah. I almost brought it up earlier, actually, when we were talking.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, that's I can't even like wrap my mind on like that. Like literally, like 1 every 3 people die, and
that's crazy.
They got through it. They got through it. Like the survivors, but it was hard. But I'm just saying, like now it's like we are in quarantine, which is great, and it just takes a while for everything to just settle. Like China right now, like Wuhan, they lifted their quarantine, but I've heard some news that I'm like, wow. But it's just like what we discussed earlier. Like their lives aren't the same. It's gonna take a while for them to adjust.
Yeah.
But hey, it's life. You have to adjust in order to survive.
I think another reason why, you know how you said like America's like it's actually like in the news, it's like higher, like the cases now, right? I think another thing is just we have a political government where we're just open to sharing more of the true numbers. I have a feeling some of these countries aren't really sharing their actual numbers, and so like I don't know what to believe if China's numbers were a certain way and things like that. But
dude, I don't know what to believe either. But hey, as long as you believe in yourself, that's all that matters. Am I right?
What's that? What's that? I just imagine like the soundboard, like the soundboard.
Hey, just do the best, dude. We can have laughter, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because what we focus on is how we feel. Like our emotions is not random. You know what I mean? So if you watch like something really depressing for 8 hours, you're gonna feel depressed. It's just what happens. And so
All right. Well, anyways, we should wrap it up because my camera is about to die. Any questions? Comment down below what you want us to answer for the next podcast, and make sure to subscribe. Okay.
You want a beatbox?
No. You have any last words though?
I think focus on staying healthy. Like that's a big priority and a value right now, because the healthier you stay, you could actually positively affect those around you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So stay at home. Respect other people, because if you go home, you're at risk of contaminating other people, and you don't know if you have it. It's just kind of like, it's scary. That is really scary. All right. Anyways, thank you all for listening and watching. All right. How do we do this? We've never ended it mobily.
Oh, so I was like, I was gonna beatbox and you were gonna rap, but then.
But it's kind of weird because different. Bluetooth takes a while. You can try it.
All right.
It's gonna be off. Yeah. Okay. It's Corona time. We're okay. Be positive every day. Okay, bye.